Hi everyone, it's Lesley Oman and I'm here with a special card, a light up card which is a collaboration between Chibitronics and My Favorite Things Stamps. And I'm making this card. It looks kind of simple, but I have incorporated quite an intense little circuit in here. So when you pull up the slider mechanism, the heart on this little floating, bobbing along otter, it lights up. So I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I've made it. It is a more complicated Chibitronics card, but hopefully the instructions will help you achieve it if you want to replicate it. I'm using Blueprints 28 for the base of my card, and I'm going to add 2 crease lines to this inside section here, and that will help me achieve that tent fold slider mechanism. I'm using the Utterly Love You stamp set, and I'm stamping 2 of this cute little otter. He's so sweet. He's holding the heart, and that's going to be what lights up in our project today. And I'm only going to color in one of these little guys. The other guy is actually going to be used as a template and to help me hide the LED. Now, I didn't know whether I was going to have a pink or a red heart, so I'll color that in later. And I'll move over to my background. To color this background panel, I'm using some blue tones of my oxide inks. And when I have that nice and blended, I want to use a stencil and spray technique to create kind of like a watery texture on this card front. I've got some water in a bottle mixed with some pearly pigment powders. And when I take my background and put it face down on top of my spritz stencil and then remove, you can see you get this transference onto my card to create lots of texture. I think it's really pretty. Now for my slider, I need a piece of card that's slightly wider than this moving section in the middle, and I also need to create a slit on my bare little otter and also along the fold line here, and that's what we're going to use to push through the copper tape so that my LED is on the front of the card, but all of the circuit work is hidden within the inside of the card. So let's take some tape, slide it up through, and this piece of tape on the right will be one side of my circuit. So I need to flip this over. One side of my tape is sticky, so I need it actually to be the other side. So let's flip over the tape, move it along to the bottom, and I'll cut that with about 1 inch to spare, and then I'll add the other section of my circuit in through the slit, leaving enough gap between the 2 pieces of tape so that I can adhere my little LED there. So this tape on the back will go upwards and off to the side, and I'll be connecting that to the base of my project to complete the circuit. I've added some tape to that bottom section to stick on my slider mechanism, and I've folded up that extra inch of copper tape, and I'll add another little line of tape here. This is what's going to be how the magic happens. This piece of tape here will slide up the card and will connect my circuit. So let's put a pencil mark on my card base to where both of those will be. And I've got another piece of an A2 card, and I'm going to use this to complete the rest of my circuit. This is going to house my battery. So I'll add 2 strips, one first of all, and I'll overhang the edge, this time by a couple of inches, so I've got a little bit of tape to work with. I'll adhere my battery and then put the other strip of copper tape on the top. I'll then add some foam tape all the way around, and then this section will actually go onto my card and be nice and secure. The one thing to remember here though is which tape is the negative and which is the positive. So I mark it on here. The negative is at the top, and that's going to be important when I stick down my light. So let's adhere this onto my card blank, and then I have my little otter piece to go on top. I'll add some tape around the outside edges, making sure not to go over the copper tape. And I'll fold this longer section in the middle of the card over, and that's what's going to connect the circuit, complete the circuit whenever I pull up that slider mechanism. I do need to attach these two sections, these two pieces of tape, one on the base of my card and then one on the top Otter section. I need to connect them so there's a good connection there. So I've added a couple of layers of the copper up the top, so when I stick this down there's a good connection up there. Now let's stick on my light. I'm using the pink light, and I need to make sure that I put the negative pointy side to the left, which is connected to the negative of my battery. Now let's color in this heart with some pink tones to match my pink LED, and then I'll glue him right on top here, and when I slide my card he lights up. Now I want to add a sentiment, but I can't use my Misty, I can't use one of my Misties because it's popped up. So I have figured out a way to use my blue Misty with my mini Misty to stamp onto these sections. This top sentiment is from the My Favorite Things Bitty Bears stamp set, and then just where the little thumb groove is, I'm going to stamp a Pull Here sentiment from Heffy Doodles Interactively Yours stamp set. Now you can end it here, but you can see some of that copper tape around the outside. So I took my scratch piece of cardstock when I cut out my first Blueprints 28, and I used a glue pen to glue that around the outside and then trimmed away the excess. And now it looks absolutely perfect. And when I slide up my slider mechanism, the little heart lights up, and I think it looks quite magical. Be sure to head over to the Chibitronics blog to see lots more inspiring projects from all the team at Chibitronics and also from My Favorite Things stamps. Thank you so much for watching this video. Here's some more videos that you may like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any of my other videos as soon as they're released. You can also leave me a like and a comment down here, and don't forget to follow me on social media @HungryHeffy. I'll see you there. Have a great day and happy crafting. Bye!